Welcome to the Vol Excel. This is live number 2. Thank you for your time. I decided to come on for just a bit and chop it up with you guys on this wonderful weekend. As most of you know, a video was released to the public pertaining to someone walking about the night allegedly Sebastian Rogers went missing. And I wanted to discuss you all's feelings about the video. Please take the polls on my community page pertaining to the subject matter. I will go back during this live and discuss the findings from the post that I posted the other day. These people are atrocious to me. I don't talk about them much, and I don't talk about the case much. I'm only talking about it only because on Wednesday it will mark allegedly 1 year that the child went missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. But this newfound interest in Sebastian is very baffling to me, but it's expected. You know, when you, as Maya Angelou once said, God rest her soul, when they show you who you are, believe them. And I can testify to seeing and believing the behavior of people to take them for what they bring to the table. And to me, these people bring hypocrisy to the table. You only seem interested with hiring this fella to act like he's investigating the disappearance of your child, but you have said nothing to the public in many months pertaining to this kid. And then all of a sudden you hire some guy and now you're interested in finding your kid. So what is your methodology? Is that what? Well, we'll just lay low, be still, be quiet. We won't say anything about the child. We won't act interested, but we'll hire this guy and he'll be our mouthpiece to act like we care for the kid. That's what it appears to me. So we go from this video of them at the restaurant, Mrs. Proudfoot and the child, and then now we jump into the new year with a video that the police says is not relevant. They've already vetted this video and the content of the video. What is the point of this nonsense? You've had nothing to say about this kid. And even when that other video came out, released to the public about, seeing Katie in the restaurant with the kid and everybody's making up stuff about what they thought they saw and this, that, and the other, implicating people as being involved. Here we go now into 25 with more stuff, more nonsense. It's nonsense to me. That's just who I am. I'm a realist. I deal with the real. If I can't see it, I can't make nothing out. I don't put my finger on nothing. The police say it's nothing. I'm sure they have a up-close video, I would assume, because I'm just going to assume these people who have these nice homes have surveillance cameras in front of their homes, side of their homes. So I'm assuming somebody has a better view. Does somebody have a better view? Is this the only view we're going to see? Because you can barely make it out. As it was said in the commentary, they had to watch it 3 times just to make it out to see somebody walking. So if it took you 3 times to notice it, then how do you know the person is what? Ducking and dodging in between cars, hiding. So what are you trying to say? This is the child, and the child went where? The infamous pond that authorities can't even give a clear picture that a dog or dogs hit a scent at this retention pond. I've had enough of this nonsense. I've had enough. Hello, Ebony. Hello, Sky. Hello, Trio. I've had enough of this nonsense. You all don't care anything about this kid. You started off whimpering on TV, then you never did another interview, then you talked to Nancy Grace and a bunch of YouTubers. And look where that got you. And I think at some point you realize, we need to start for YouTube because it's not serving us well. We don't look good up there. We've talked about this child like a dog. Indeed, you did. And some of you knuckleheads, you still believe these people are innocent. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm not here to argue with nobody with 2 feet about Sebastian Rogers. Not now, not never. You believe whatever the hell you want. If you believe unicorns can fly and they have painted toenails, that's your prerogative. It's not mine. On Wednesday, the news is going to play an interview with the Proudfoots. Woo! Katie, you look a little chunky there. Oh, my goodness. Got you some new glasses. I say life has been treating you quite well. Look like you've been eating a little bit of green eggs and ham. Shut your mouth. You've been living quite nicely since your son's been missing. Shut up, Angela. You know I'm going to bring you business because that's who I am. I'm queen. It's like somebody's been living mighty, mighty fine. Imagine that. But that's usually the point, is it not? We're just going to move on with the way things have been going. We're going to do us. This is what people do. Dog dies, we go get another dog. Cat dies, we get another cat. Boyfriend breaks up with us, we break up with a boyfriend, we go get a new boyfriend. Car stops working, too much money, go get a new car. But kid goes missing, we don't get a new kid now, do we? Checkmate. But we continue to live as if we never had a kid. Oh, that sounds about right. We're living as if we never had a kid. That's the motivation in the first place, right? We didn't want the kid, so we're going to go ahead and continue as if he ain't coming back. Shut your mouth. And people will bicker, Well, when is the appropriate time to move on? Oh, you hear this all the time when people pass away. When is the appropriate time to date? Not 2 days later. How about that? Damn, can the dead turn over first? Can the dead just, get comfortable down there in a hole before we just move on? Same thing with a child missing. Do we just get comfortable? Because he was never wanted. That's obvious. You see, you lead by example. What's the old saying? I can show you better than I can tell you. Exactly. I can show you better than I can tell you. So I'm showing you I never gave two fucks about this kid. Glad he's gone. Good riddance. Now back to my green eggs and ham. Or shall I say, steak and potato. Don't mind me if I get a little country. Green eggs, steak, and potato. And we know it ain't no sweet potato. Potato. You get my point. What is with all this nonsense, Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot? Suing people. Oh, they're stalking us. Oh, they're bothering us. You two are built like two little Mack trucks. Who the hell are you afraid of? Yes, Queen's woke. Thou shalt put fear in the YouTuber. Don't you talk about me. Oh, don't you talk about my son. Don't you talk about us. So what is it that you're offended by? Talking about Sebastian or talking about you two? I think it's more about talking about you two. That you two have been some dirty birds. You have. My. And now all of a sudden we want to do an interview 1 year later. Shut your mouth. Stop this nonsense now. Now, Queen is the actress. I've been in a movie. Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot, you have not. Although I was just an extra, but still, I got a little street cred. So help me out. This foolishness. Videos and look. Look at the guy. Look at him. Look at what? People going in and out of a steakhouse. People going in and out of a steakhouse. People sitting here actually dissecting random strangers who probably don't appreciate everybody talking about them on YouTube going in and out of a damn steakhouse. Because I'd be pissed off. The hell you doing talking about me walking in a steakhouse? What were you doing there? I was eating a steak and potato. What are you doing? Worried about what I'm doing there. Checkmate. Oh, he had it or something. Oh, look at this. Look at that. Oh, there's something in her pocket. There's the phone ringing. Blah, 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 blah. Unicorns and fairies. And yet still no Sebastian. That's my point. You think whatever the hell you want to think, but where's the child? And when that guy spoke on the news with the search rescue, what I call rescue ministry over there. He even said it on the news. He didn't bite his tongue. I don't know what to think as far as the sense. There's nothing conclusive. Now, he didn't have to say it, and he didn't say it to, to appease anybody. Just told his truth. That's his truth. So that's my point. You don't know what to believe, because if you're not hearing it from law enforcement, why are you believing anything other than? You all just let random people come up to social media and tell you anything. This shows you how green Americans are. That anybody just gets up on a panel, and starts talking, and you spread that shit around like peanut butter. Minus the jelly. And he said, and she said, and Pookie said, and Bubba said. Well, where's the kid? I'll wait. I've got a lot of time. Where is the kid? 1 year later? So let's pretend we are some dodo birds. And we're going to say that's the kid walking around the neighborhood. So what was he doing? Help the queen understand. We're going to role play. Allegedly, that's Sebastian walking around playing in between the cars. Well, where'd he go? What happened to the kid? I don't know. I just listen to what everybody else says. I can't think for myself. I don't have a brain. I'm waiting. The kid walked out without a phone, a coat, shoes, to play in between the cars. Is that what we're saying? "40 people watching. I don't hear anything. Help me out." Look over there. There he is. He's playing between the cars. Something he's never done, allegedly. Never ran away. Didn't have any friends. Nobody came to visit him. He didn't go play at other children's homes. He didn't visit other neighbors' homes. And on this cold night in February, he decided to go outside of his house and play Duck, Duck, Goose. Well, I don't hear anything. Is there anybody out there listening? Help the queen. And these people acting like they're so concerned. Oh, we're going to hire some private investigator. Oh, so you hire somebody to talk for you. You all had no problem with talking on social media, especially that one damn hillbilly with the damn mullet. Walkie-talkie. He should be a reporter, Christopher Proudfoot. Quit your day job, honey. Go work for WSMV or WKRN. Because you know you could talk up a storm. Then all of a sudden, dead silence. Man down, woman down. And then poof, 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 poof. Here comes this infamous steakhouse video where everybody was losing their damn mind. Queen, did you see it? Queen, did you see it? Every waking day. God forbid you put up a post, you talk about it. Folks just coming in on donkeys and horses and everything, telling me about what they saw. Didn't you see it? Didn't you see it? Hell no, I didn't see nothing. I didn't see anything. I saw a mother sitting at the table with her kid, He seemed to be hungry. They left out. There might have been a pause before she got in her car. What she was doing, I don't know. Maybe she was letting another person out so they could get out of the car. I don't know. Can't see. And then now, 2025, right before the 26th, we get this video that the police say, this is not relevant to anything. So I'm going to ask the person that released it to the public, what is your point? What point are you trying to make with this video? You're trying to tell us that A, it's Sebastian and he walked off into the world and what? Passed away, hitchhiked, got in somebody's car, truck. They hurt him, harmed him. He went, fell in some water somewhere. Where? Or this was some guy out lurking about and what? He tapped on Sebastian's window. Come out, come out. Where are you going with this? I'm sick of you two. I am sick of you two. I swear for God, I'm sick of you two. When God was handing out brains, you two stepped out of line. Literally. You two stepped out of line. Hey, Chris, Katie, where you going? Don't you need a brain? Nah, we'll pass. We're military. We don't need a brain. Ah, could have fooled me. Hot tamale, anyone? She's sitting up there on the news last year like the fucking Tin Man from The Wiz. Tee! Tee! Who are you crying for? Ah. You're crying for Sebastian? Well, honey, you wet real quick. What they said, jumping Jack Flash, jumping Jane. She got up quick. She got brand new. They moved on. Followed her husband down to Memphis to stay in some damn RV park while the child was missing 1 month. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? 1 month, child missing. Poof, voila, mama gone. Damn. You must know the black lady up in Pontiac, Michigan. Come on with it, Queen. They don't want to hear it. You know, you know the black lady up there, Katie? What's her name? Come on with it, Queen. You know, I'm getting a little older. Miss Bryant. You know Kelly Bryant? Hey, wait a minute. Katie and Kelly. Shut your mouth. Damn, Queen, you good. Now, that's a universe talking. Come on with it. K and K. White woman does something to her child, keeps it moving with her fat-faced husband, and then a black woman leaves her 3 children in a squalor of a condo, and now she's sitting in jail with a big boy bond, $250 million. Shut your mouth. Rightfully so. Gots to be more careful. And honey, she's sitting up there looking a hot but a mess, huh? No, she mad. Can't wear that lace front and them lashes and that lip gloss. Can't pose for the camera. Take all them little selfies half naked. Woo! The universe is hell, is it not? And then we come all the way down to Tennessee, rock bottom Egypt. Have these 2 folks walking around like they don't even have a kid missing. Fuck it. He gone. See, let me tell you something I've learned about folks. what they call it, out of sight, out of mind. You can talk shit about people when you know they ain't going to come back and say anything. Now, when people get on the lie book and they talk shit, they may mention a person's name, they may not. But in this case of a child, it's a little bit different. You understand? They talking shit about the kid because they know he ain't getting ready to tell nothing. He ain't getting ready to say nothing. And how would you know that? I'll let that sit right there. Because you know he's not coming back. And we're a year later, ting, 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 ting. He hasn't surfaced to come back and say, Katie, Christopher, why you up there on YouTube talking about me like a damn dog? Why you up here talking about me like a damn dog, like I don't exist, like I don't got no damn feelings? Oh, because I'm autistic, I ain't got no feelings? That's right, I'm autistic, I ain't got no friends, don't nobody like me. So you didn't have no problem with getting rid of me. Checkmate. And you can talk about me like a damn dog because you know I can't talk back. Ain't that right? And I think the father had some type of problem with acknowledging that possibly his child wasn't coming back. But as I told everybody, that's Seth's way, not my way. I'm not the mother or father of a missing child. So I can't tell that man how to feel. But I can definitely talk about the other two robots. You a day late, dollar short on acting like you care about this boy. Now all of a sudden you want to do an interview with the news. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Now what the hell you get ready to tell the news? You get ready to get up there and do the 10 man again? Tee-hee! Tee-hee! I miss my boy. I just couldn't talk to nobody. You don't understand. I miss my child. I miss my baby, and I just couldn't talk to the news, and I just couldn't talk to nobody. Woo! But you sure was yes ma'am, no ma'am with that damn Nancy Grace. Shut your mouth. If I didn't know better, y'all talk to Nancy Grace like she was a damn FBI. Woo! Come on with it, Queen. Yes ma'am, no ma'am. Well, damn. But you couldn't talk to nobody else. Interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. A couple of YouTubers. My mistake. And all this pretending to be different people in chats and stuff. Different profiles. Those were accusations some of you put out about Mr. Proudfoot. He was pretending to be other people, calling in and pretending to be other people, playing on platforms. You see, let me explain something to you all, because a lot of you just really don't get it. You get what you entertain. Say it again, Queen. You get what you entertain. You entertain the foolishness, that's what you gonna get. Childish games, foolish prizes. So that's what you gonna get. A fool's way. See, I don't entertain that type of nonsense. All of that nonsense for a like and a view, yeah, we're gonna go there too. Some of you YouTubers, y'all know y'all was down with the bullshit. Y'all still with it. See, I don't entertain y'all either. Y'all are distant memory to Queen. Because when I checked out, I checked fully out. And I let people know, don't bring that mess to me because I'm not interested. I'm not your average YouTuber. Thank you, Jesus. I got my wits about me. I'm not that thirsty. See, in the scripture, it says in Psalms, thou shalt not sit at the table with the wicked. Say it again, Queen. Thou shalt not sit at the table with the wicked. So you all were entertaining the Proudfoots like he was number 47. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. And you see what's going on now with folks who've been entertaining number 47. Look at what they get. Ding, 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 ding. Come on, Queen, preach. I sure am. And it ain't even Sunday yet. See what you get when you sit at the table with the wicked. Because a lot of you are disobedient. You're disobedient. But But I don't see how these people can walk around and be happy. How can you be happy? Your damn kid's missing. You don't speak to the father. See, I knew right then what time of day it was. When I heard Seth say on the news they weren't speaking, I said, oh, sookie now. We're getting somewhere. See, I don't need all that extra fluff that everybody else put on, all these gazillion interviews with, $2 YouTubers and shit. I read between the lines and I read what I see. And when I see and I hear a man say, hey, the mama and the step-pawpaw don't talk to me, I already knew what time of day it was. I said, shit, they done checked out. They done checked out and they done cut the father off at the ankle. Checkmate. Did somebody hear what I said? They cut Seth off at the ankles. And Lord knows that man talked and he talked and went on every show he could talk to people. See, the Proudfoots were telling you everything you need to know right then. You know how embarrassing that is to go on a live broadcast and tell people the mother of the child is not speaking to you? Don't you know how humiliating that is? And you know the people are sitting there looking like, what the hell kind of hillbilly shit is this? What type of hillbilly shit is this? The mother's not talking to you. What do you mean? The step-pawpaw's not talking to you. But let that round-faced fucker tell it. Oh, me and Seth, we talked all the time. And what, Katie, she need permission to talk to her ex-husband? He was good enough to screw and make a baby with him. Come on, Queen, preach. I'm going to give it to you today, baby. Seth was good enough to have sex with him and make a child. Oh, but then when he go missing, I don't have anything to say to the father. We don't have anything to say to Seth. Well, ain't this a bitch? You ain't got nothing to say to him. But everybody was so close. Well, let me think about this for just a second. A teenager goes missing. He doesn't hang out. He's not on drugs. He's not a drinker. He don't got no friends. He don't socialize with nobody in the neighborhood. He can't drive a car, ain't got a car. He ain't got a moped, a bicycle, nothing. He goes, poof, while I'm missing. And all of a sudden, the parents ain't talking to each other. Ding, 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 ding. Why y'all need a YouTube to help you out? Because I didn't need no help. And Chris said this. And Katie said this. And he was on such and such program. And he was on such and such panel. I said, do you hear yourself? You all sound like a bunch of babbling idiots. Why are you going back repeating what the fuck these motherfuckers had to say about Sebastian or cookies and rainbows, ice cream and soda pop bottles? He said and she said. What's your point? So now you see how stupid everybody sound. Going back repeating about what these folks have said on YouTube, and now it's almost a year later that the child went missing. He is not visible. He ain't came up for air nowhere. Nowhere. You're welcome, sweetheart. Nowhere. And now she getting ready to go tell the news what? Katie, what you getting ready to tell the news? Please enlighten us. Give me a pre. I want a preview before Wednesday gets here. Because I'm going to definitely have some whiskey on this little table when I play the content. And I might show myself if I'm feeling kind of frisky. What do you have to tell us about Sebastian? Or as somebody in the chat said, you're going to do what? Talk about yourself? Oh my goodness. I've just been so distraught. Can't you see? I've got a double chin. I've put on weights. I've got new glasses. I have just been beside myself. My child's been missing, and I know it looks bad. I didn't talk to the news, and I know Christopher should have said all those ugly things that he said about my child. I'm a bad, 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 bad mother. But you don't know what I've been going through. You have no idea what I've been going through. It's been heart-wrenching without my child. It's going to go kind of like that, Katie. I think I'll eat me another piece of hot tamale on that one. The link is in the chat. You got something you want to say about this video that the police says is not relevant? Hit that link. Join the queen. Make this live count. Make it go viral. Lord have mercy. When they say the devil's a liar and a thief, they meant that. A liar and a thief. Prayers for Sebastian Rogers, that the truth will be revealed to where this child is. Praying for the truth. Praying for resolution. And praying that no child goes missing here stateside. Praying that no child ever gets abused mentally or physically by their bio mother, father, grandparents, guardians, family members. You see, there are a lot of children abused every day, and there are people who are eyewitnesses to the abuse and they don't do a damn thing. People are afraid to call DHS. Queen ain't. I will dial CPS with my toes crossed. I don't play. Do something crazy in front of me with your baby. And hell yeah, I got an alias. I will call DHS on you, and I won't even blink. Did you hear what I said? I won't even blink. Why are we here today talking about a missing teenager? Autistic child. Why are we here? Who saw the signs? Something wasn't right with the rearing of Sebastian. Raise your hand. Tell the truth. And may God have mercy on your soul. That you saw something and you put it on the back burner. Or somebody did say something and that's why the child's missing. Many of you have speculated that. Calls to CPS. I need a blueprint. I need a receipt. And naturally, I'm not going to get a piece of paper that shows who called and what was done, what was resolved, what was not resolved, because we already know how DHS works. They ain't going to show us nothing. And you definitely ain't going to get the truth from the Proudfoots, because they're going to lie until they don't have breath in them. Welcome to the Valdez Cell, everybody. Thank you for your time. 1 second, everybody. Lord help me, Jesus. Where is this child? Nobody knows anything. Y'all sit there and let that man sit up there on the damn news crying about his kid and just don't even care. But that was the point, right? Get rid of him. We don't need him. He's a hazard. He's a hazard. Don't want him. Well, you know what, Katie? You could have done what that Kelly lady did up there in Pontiac. She just left her kids in the house. Fecal matter, urine, pizza boxes. Just saying. Hell, you didn't mind going down to that RV 1 month after he went missing. You just left Sebastian in the house by his damn self. Just saying. I ain't saying it's right, but hey, at least we got 3 children alive today. Don't know what damage is going to be to their brain cells, but at least they're alive by the grace of God. Amen. Prayers for those 3 children in Pontiac, Michigan. Stinking ass mama left them in the house. Filthy ass house. No soap, no water, no detergent, no shampoo. Toenails so long the girls couldn't even walk out of the house. But at least they're alive. They now can have some type of chance in life, if you understand where I'm coming from. They have a chance. Where is Sebastian's chance? I'll wait. Hit that link, be heard. Give your opinion. Pertaining to the latest developments pertaining to that video released to the public that the police says has no value. It is irrelevant. Thank you, Scott. Roughly 500 children are murdered by their bio parents each year in the United States, says the FBI. I want you to think about that. 500 children murdered each year. So there is no boogeyman, no phantom. No ghost in the closet. Boogeyman under the bed. Oh no. It's mommy and daddy. Grandma, grandpa, auntie, uncle. Legal guardian, foster parent, adoptive parents. That unalive children every year stateside. Say it again, Queen. Roughly 500 children are unalived by their parents every year in the United States of America. Checkmate. Why would this case be any different? It's 1 year later. AI generated photos. Oh, he's over there in North Carolina. Oh, he's over here. Oh, the dog hit over here. Blah, 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 blah. Where is he then? Oh, look at the video. Oh, look at this. Look at the guy with the hoodie. Oh, look at this person. Got these people sitting here cussing up a storm. Why the fuck are these people looking at us at the steakhouse? Trying to eat. We don't know this kid. We don't know this lady. Oh, no. Let YouTube tell it. Who the fuck is YouTube? You all better get it together. Stop making up stuff every time somebody goes missing. You people make up stupid stuff to satisfy some sick sensation you have inside of your brain because you refuse to deal with logic. So then I have to start questioning some of you like, damn, how do you all live at home? Because you all walking around here like damn zombies out here. Come on, get it together. Ebony, stop. Don't start that. Come on now. You know damn well they done went and verified that kid. Probably did fingerprints, everything. Where is Sebastian Rogers? Katie, can you tell us? Katie, Christopher? You were last with her. Where's your son? You going to tell us where your son is? Because I got a weird feeling come Wednesday, you're going to put on for the camera, which you've already done because they've already done a pre-recording of your interview. And are we going to hear you whimpering up there about how you miss your boy? I just love him so much. I just don't know what to do. I just couldn't talk to anybody. I just couldn't go live. I just couldn't talk to the public. I just couldn't go to any of the vigils. I'm just a poor sap of a motherfucker. I'm just worthless. I'm a worthless piece of shit. So is my husband. We're worthless pieces of shit. We were very bad parents to him. Oh. That's what we're going to hear Wednesday. Fake whimpering and crying. You don't understand what we've been going through. These people are horrible out here. They're so mean and vindictive. And you ain't? And you ain't vindictive? Because I believe you got a whole kid missing. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But right now, my better half says you and that fat-faced fucker did something to that kid. So you can get up there on that TV screen and cry, fall out, roll over. I don't care. Where is that baby? So what I have to tell myself is the obvious. If he was supposed to be going to live with his father the following summer, then what was the purpose in getting rid of him? Help me understand. You just got so sick and tired of looking at him, you just said, fuck it. I want him out of this house. I'm not waiting till summer. I want him gone right now. Help me understand. You just couldn't wait until summer? Because that's what I have to grapple with if I believe that Seth was going to take the child with him. Why would you two knock off this boy? You couldn't wait. So that's what this is about? You couldn't wait. You were tired. You wanted your freedom. You wanted to be free of this autistic teenager. You couldn't even wait a couple of months. Or maybe you thought Seth wasn't going to take the child. Is that where we're going? Because there's something missing from this equation. And the one thing I keep trying to tell people about true crime is that you are not going to get the whole truth about anything. That's the reason why we're here. If you understand what I'm saying. There's something missing from this story. And who's going to tell us the truth? I'll wait. Katie, did you think that perhaps Seth wasn't going to take the child, that he was going to renege, that he was going to have an excuse? Or you thought the child, you were being investigated for child abuse allegedly? But see, let me tell people about that reasoning. See, nobody ever listens, so nothing I say. You don't necessarily go to jail because you abused a kid. Duh. So you can throw that theory out the window. Oh, they did it because they were being investigated for child abuse. What is the worst case situation? If they found the Proudfoots guilty of child abuse, they would just remove the kid. You don't necessarily go to jail. You would only go to jail if the circumstances warranted physical abuse. He was tied up, held hostage, not fed, malnourished. See where I'm going? Like the case in Pontiac, Michigan. That warranted an arrest. The children were living in squalor. They were not eating properly. They didn't take baths. They didn't get their clothes washed. They had fecal matter on them. That's not the same. They would walk into his house and say, well, we're going to go by what the child told us. We don't feel like this is a safe environment for Sebastian. We're going to see if his father wants him or we'll put him in foster care. So on and so forth. You don't necessarily go to jail. They didn't beat him up. He didn't have, a broken eye socket, broken eardrum, bleeding from the nose, the head, contusion. You see where I'm going? So knocking him off because you think this kid's going to say something about you being abusive, they would just remove the kid. Now, flip side of that is that, well, Angie, he's got that other kid and he wouldn't want that harming him getting faith. But the point is, Somebody has to know about faith for that to coincide, for the two cases to coincide. Tell y'all don't nobody pay attention to that. The judge would have to know, oh, there's another child and the child lives out of state. And then that judge would have to go confirm with the other judge out of state. Got to pay attention, everybody. So, Katie, I'm going to ask you and your little Teletubby, what was the reason for getting rid of Sebastian? Because I've laid out the scenarios. You were fed up. You were tired of dealing with them. You all were worried that he, I don't know, something would happen to you for abusing a kid, which I just said he wouldn't go to jail. They would just remove the kid. So what is the reason? Well, what was the reason for getting rid of the kid? Most reasons are the obvious. Either abuse, trying to cover up abuse, neglect, and or the person is tired of dealing with the kid. The parents are tired of dealing with the kid. And that's a terrible thing to think about, especially when you have another parent, which is Seth Rogers. The thought of thinking about somebody thinking so ill of your own child, you share a child with another human being, and to grapple with that would have to be a very devastating thought. This bitch hated my kid so much, she and her husband, that they knocked off my kid. That's a hard thing to grapple with. The thought of thinking your child is not alive because he was collateral damage. He was no longer wanted. He was no longer valued. He was no longer loved by the Proudfoots. They didn't need him. He was dead weight, literally. You see, the one thing I was trying to tell people, you have to weigh circumstances according to how it is, not how you want it to be. So that's how I weigh this Rogers case. I weigh it for what I see. And what I see is a mother ran off as soon as she could to be with her husband. And her child had only been gone 1 month. That says a lot. You ran away to Memphis to be with a person who is gone all day from that RV, working a job. What reason would you have to be down there with Christopher Proudfoot and you have a whole kid missing? Help the queen understand. Because you know it is wrong and it was not right. So that shows cause to me. You didn't care for the kid. You did exactly what people do when they are done with a motherfucker. They hit the pavement running. You see it every day. Man drops a woman, cheats on his wife, divorces her, or she divorces him. Poof, voila. He's already got a sweet mama right there on his arm. He ain't even came up for air. Already got another woman. Or already had a woman when he was with the wife. Same thing when people die. 2 months later, you see them walking around in church out to eat with another woman or man. And you're like, damn, didn't your wife just die? Loneliness is such a sad affair. But that's not the case here. This is not a Luther Vandross song. Katie was not lonely. She was like the old song. I want to be free. Checkmate. She got brand new. He's out of here. I'm going to Memphis to be with my husband. Even Nancy Grace asked her, what you doing down here? What you doing down there for? For what? Because my husband had to go to work. And what Nancy Grace was like, and? So what? He was working before your son went missing. What's your point? Because she didn't have no point. She didn't have no fucking business down there with Christopher. Your child is missing. Why are you down in Memphis and you have a whole kid missing? You didn't even care if the boy wandered back, could have been kidnapped, dropped off, whatever. Knocked on the door. He can't even get in the fucking door because his mother down in Memphis in a motherfucking RV park. So what the fuck you got to say Wednesday? Nothing. You ain't got nothing to tell Queen. And you all can suck that interview up, chew it up, stick it up your ass. I don't care and I don't want to hear nothing about what Katie said. Oh, did you hear what they said? Did you hear what they said? Why would you care? This is what I've been preaching to you people all last year when the story broke. Why do you keep listening to these bobbleheads? You all will go over and over and over what the fuck Christopher Proudfoot said, what Katie said, what the grandmama said, what this person said. Who cares? Sound ridiculous. It's like listening to a serial killer tell you why they went out there and murdered a bunch of damn women. Oh, okay. Don't matter. It don't matter. She told you what happened when she went to that RV park to be with her husband. She told on herself. You want me to believe she was just so lonely up there in that house? Oh, I'm scared. Nobody broke in. Window wasn't broken in or out. No doors were breached. He just walked out. Did your son ever run away, ma'am? Never. You can come back. You won't be in trouble. What'd you say? He won't be in what? He won't be in no trouble. Oh, I see. You can come back, Sebastian. You won't be in any trouble. Bingo card. I keep trying to tell everybody, I'm woke. Are you woke? You can come back. You won't be in no trouble. Tee! Tee! Rocking back and forth. Rocking back and forth. No eye contact with the reporter. Bad, bad, bad sign, Katie Boo. And your little Teletubby, he just sitting up there like, like he in a damn business meeting. And I'm sitting up here looking like, what the fuck is this I'm looking at? This is some damn nonsense. No. You were looking at the truth, Queen. You were looking at the damn truth. Christopher Proudfoot was happy. Hey, y'all better wake up because I'm woke. That little Teletubby was happy. Shit, I got that boy out this house. I don't know what you crying for, Katie. Get over it. He's gone. But you got to put on for the camera, right? Tee-hee, tee-hee. She rocking and crying. Can't look at the reporter. He's sitting up like he just won the damn lottery ticket. Huh. How you missed that? Say it again, Queen. Christopher Proudfoot sat up in that interview like he just got the lottery. Katie, we free now. Stop that crying. Stop it now. Stop it. What y'all do with that boy? That's what I want to know. What did you all do with Sebastian Rogers? We can stop playing games. Oh, you made sure you hit him well. Probably so. Where is the boy, Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot? How do you sleep at night? Somebody will say, well, mighty, mighty fine, Queen. Well, we know you motherfuckers are eating good. That we can see. Green eggs and ham and steak and potato. Because Katie looking kind of swole up there in that interview, that caption they showed the other day. I said, look at this heifer here. They got her some new glasses, and she looking kind of chunky under the chin. Shut your mouth. Huh? Emotional eater. Girl, please. Now, please stop. Ho-ho cakes and vodka. Huh? Sugar and sugar. Katie, don't you know sugar and sugar is bad for you? Alcohol has a lot of sugar. I don't care. Katie, where are your friends? Do you have any friends? Anybody go to your house, visit you? You go to somebody else's house, visit any ladies? Woo! You're definitely not the type of lady I'd like to come over for tea. Shut your mouth. Now, Queen, you behave. I won't. Hello, Oopsie. Katie, would you like to come over for tea? You promise you won't poison me, will you? Damn! Queen, did you just say that? I did. You promise you won't poison me, will you? Please don't poison me. It'd be a cold day in hell before I would invite them to anywhere. Did you hear what I said? I wouldn't invite them to a barbecue, a birthday party, nothing. Hell no. Hell no. Fuck around and poison me. Thank you, sweetheart. Hell no. Turn my back, go to the bathroom, come back. Katie got some PDD shit going on. Put some pink powder in your drink. You flapping around on the floor like a wet seal, and she's standing over you. Probably pull her phone out, film you. Well, I've already knocked off my kid. What's one more? Angela. Now, Queen, that's not nice. I know. I don't play nice. Where is this kid? Huh? The path, please. Y'all gonna leave the Queen up here by herself? The link is in the chat. Join me. Make this live count. Come up here on this panel and give me the business. It's almost 1 year that these buffoons claim that a child went missing in Hendersonville, Tennessee. An autistic Caucasian boy child who has not been seen since. And no, I do not believe he's alive. If he is, who has him and why? Bring a receipt. Videos, pictures, this and that. But yet the child is still missing. Discrepancies of dog scents. The child is still missing. Where is Sebastian Rogers? Let's cut the shit and stop this nonsense. Where is this boy? Because 1 year in, it's just as bad as when it was the same with Summer Wells. We looked up, it was year 1, year 2, year 3. God tell me no. TBI, what do you have? Do you have a suspect? Do you have any evidential material from that house, a car, a vehicle, CCTV footage pertaining to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers? What do you have? Do you have a viable suspect, but you do not have enough evidence to make an arrest? What do you have? When are you going to speak to the public about this case? Because this is starting to look like somewhere else, and I don't like that. This is somewhere else 2.0. June 15th will mark 4 years that Summer went missing in the holler. And still no sightings of her either. Just a bunch of mumbo jumbo, fake sightings, fake posts, fake theories. And I saw this case going the same way with that AI generated stuff going on in North Carolina. It wasn't the child. People are cruel. We're talking about a child missing. Why in the world would you ever play such cruel games with a whole child missing? It's despicable. Where is this kid? I want to know where he is. I want to know where Summer Wells is. I do believe somebody holds the key to where both of these children can be located. Somebody knows. Will somebody tell the truth? That's the point. Will someone tell the truth about these kids? Obviously, somebody believes they've gotten away with unaliving these children. That's what I think. Out of sight, out of mind. So I'm wondering, where does Seth Rogers stand today on his theory to what he thinks happened to his child? Seth, do you believe that your child was harmed by the Proudfoots or the mother? Do you believe other people are involved? Or do you believe your child is alive somewhere? And if he's alive, why would he be somewhere else? And why would someone hold a child where there's an active Amber Alert? Because anybody with sense should know you would be arrested if you had custody of Sebastian or Summer Wells or any child with an active Amber Alert. Common sense. So what would be the point in having them? Once you know that there's an Amber Alert, you'd be a fool to have custody of a said missing child. Make it make sense. The link is in the chat. 77 viewing. Thank you for your time. Keep the continuity going. Somebody out there have an opinion. Nobody has an opinion that they don't want to share with the public. Come on now. They're going to air it Wednesday. They're going to air it Wednesday. I can only imagine what she has to say. You're welcome. I got almost 80 people viewing. Thank you for your time. I'm waiting for one of you all to hit the link. Let the queen rest. Ha, so funny. I'll pass on that, sweetheart, but thank you. The panel is open if you have an opinion pertaining to the disappearance of Sebastian. The video that's been released that the police says is not relevant. Where you think the child is. Who you think is responsible for the disappearance of this child? Hit the link. Join me. Make this live count. Because I'm not going to stay up here much longer. I just wanted to give my feelings about the hypocrisy of these two individuals and that they're disgusting and vile to me. And I think of them just the way I think of the whales. They're hypocrites as well. They do not care about their children, and that's obvious because they don't have none of their damn kids. And they've been on this rodeo before with the Department of Human Services, and sadly, these two crossed each other's paths in the universe, made more children to only lose one mysteriously, and then 3 boys went into the state's care, and they never fought to get the boys back. Then you mosey on over here to Hendersonville, and you have a teenager missing, and there's no regard for this child by the mother and the stepfather. Just a bunch of mumbo jumbo and slick ass talk up here on the wire, which tells me everything I need to know about the type of life this kid had with these people. He was a non-relevant motherfucking factor. That's what I believe. Hello, Susan. Thank you for joining me. They were tired of him. So if he was going to live with Seth, she didn't care. Out of sight, out of mind. Not going to wait till summer. Not going to wait. Not going to wait on Seth. Hell no. I'm out. We're out. Deuces. So amazing how these two cases are eerily similar. Sebastian and Summer. S and S. Both are out running around with the mother all day long. And poof, voila, come home, they go missing. Make it make sense. The child is gone all day, Summer Wells, with Candace. She comes back to the holler in the middle of nowhere, and poof, she's missing. Sebastian is running around with his mother all day, eating colossal sized popcorn, running over here, running over there, go out to eat, and then poof, take him home. She wakes up the next morning to wake him up for school, and he's gone. How about that? 2 children on the opposite sides of the state. Both Caucasian. Both living in houses where I do not believe they were loved and cared for properly. One child had a better demographic than the other, but I don't think they were loved in the household. And then poof, voila, they are gone. Make it make sense. Where is Summer Wells? Where is Sebastian Rogers? And sadly, there'll be another case of a missing child, and it'll be just as catastrophic. With the he said and the she said and the theories and the allegations of abuse, child abuse, neglect. And there'll be no information. Where are you calling from?
Arizona.
What do you have to say about this video, Yvonne P?
Well, I was just going to make one point recently that I saw a profiler profiling what Chris Proudfoot had said on one of the recent talk shows that he did.
Yvonne.
No, but listen. What he said was very interesting because Chris Proudfoot said.
Slow down. Slow down. Where did he say it, Yvonne?
Where did who say it?
Where did he say what? What program were you watching?
Okay, I was watching. A YouTuber. A reputable, yes, but he's a reputable kind of a criminal profiler. Kelly is his name, I think. Last name Kelly, and he was taking apart, he was doing the linguistics on his, what Proudfoot had said recently on one of the YouTube shows that he'd been on recently. And he was saying that Chris Proudfoot literally said, "We're all guilty. We're all responsible for the loss of this child." And the profiler was just saying, that is an embedded confession in his opinion. So he felt like that was Chris Proudfoot saying, admitting that he had guilty knowledge, which of course we all know.
Well, let me ask
But
you this: when was that said?
well, I just watched it like a few days ago,
Okay.
and I think yeah.
What is Yvonne P's opinion
My opinion is that
of the
he's
video?
responsible.
Let me start here.
Oh,
Give me your opinion of the video that has just been released, and we'll work our way backwards.
oh, you see, unfortunately, I haven't just seen it. I haven't seen
Well,
the
I'll be
recent.
damned.
You mean, are you talking about the one about the police saying that it's not
Relevant, the one
relevant?
that was released the other day.
Yeah, but I don't think I've seen that one. I don't think I've seen that one. I've been
Well,
kind of skimming over it.
because you can't hardly see anything.
Yeah, it's kind of in the dark, and there's, so
So
and
you did
really,
watch it, or you didn't watch it?
I didn't watch it, but I saw it on the thumbnail. I saw the picture on the thumbnail, and I could see that, it was like a blurry picture. Like, there's no way they can say. That's why I didn't watch it, because I figured, how are they gonna? There's no proof, that was him or that it wasn't him or whatever. But
Okay. Well, let me
we
ask you
know
this.
that.
Well, what did you think
Yeah.
about the video at the steakhouse?
Um. Well, obviously he was with his mother at that time, and he's a lot bigger than what they tried to infer by all the other pictures when he was younger and stuff. So I think that's a very interesting aspect too, that like people aren't really talking about, because he was almost like a full-sized young man,
Mm-hmm.
even though he was thin and everything. Sorry about that, I'm outside. But I don't think, right, there's no other video past that we know of, right? So
Now say that again.
I said there's no other video of him past that steakhouse that we know of, right?
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah. So
Well, let me ask you this:
I mean,
do you believe the child made it home?
I do believe he made it home. I do believe that there was kind of, those thumps that she says that she heard at 10 or 11 or whatever in the evening. I think that something happened between her and him, possibly, or either Chris was in the vicinity,
Mm-hmm.
somehow, and there was some kind of altercation. I think that was about the time that he,
So you believe
lost his
Christopher was
life.
not in Memphis?
I don't think he was in Memphis. No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. But I
So
do, they did.
who took the child out then?
I think. Well, have you seen the videos about the geofencing on his vehicle?
Not really.
There's some talk on those, show on the video on the YouTubers, that say that there is geofencing that the police have, where his vehicle is in the vicinity of the backyard, that water.
Well, who
Um,
has that proof? Who has that proof that the police got it? Because the police ain't told us that.
yeah, the police have not told us that, but I don't keep track of stuff the way I should, because I'm doing. But there is supposedly geofencing that shows that his vehicle was in the vicinity in the back of the property.
Mm.
So that's not, something that the police are talking about, I guess. But I imagine that, they use geofencing all the time.
Ebony said Chris told us. I don't know. I didn't hear it. I don't watch anything where he has his mouth open.
Chris is the one that talked about the geofencing?
I don't do that. I'm not
I
going to
didn't
listen
know
to
that.
nobody that I think killed a kid.
Yeah, I didn't know that he was the one that was saying it.
Well,
But
why would he? Well, why? Listen, why would he implicate himself when he knows that people thought he was in Memphis, and that's what they originally put out to the public? Why would I
exactly.
implicate myself being here near a crime scene when originally I'm supposed to be in Memphis? That don't make any sense.
Yeah, he wouldn't. I don't know. He wouldn't. In my mind, he wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I don't.
But
That don't make any sense.
mm-mm.
I'm not going to implicate myself as being at this house when the wife has already told the public, the news, I was gone.
Right. I don't know. Are they sure that Chris is the one that said that?
I don't know. I told you I don't watch none of that stuff,
Yeah.
so I don't know nothing about
So,
it.
but if somebody else, said it or something, I could believe that because geofencing, they use that a lot. They're using that
So who
to
would be the
catch
person saying
Brian
it
Coburn.
would believe it?
Who would say that?
I mean, I'm just saying, what person could say it for Yvonne to say, "Oh, I believe that"? Who are you speaking of?
Well, the thing is, I don't know who the person was that said it, but I do believe that I do know that the cops use that, and they're using that for instance, in the Coburger thing, and that's just recently come out in some of the documents that are coming out now that all the DNA is coming in and all that stuff. They geofenced his vehicle like 11 times. That's why they can say he was there 11 times prior to the murder or whatever. They've locked in on his vehicle that many times.
Well,
So
let me ask you this: if you believe there was an altercation in the house, what would the altercation have been about?
it could have been something as simple as, uh, your room is, a
Okay,
mess, and I
I want you
told
to think about, but I want you to think about what you're saying now. You're trying to make it seem like it's happenstance that Katie hurt the boy, but then why would Christopher be there if it's happenstance? See where I'm going? If you don't know you're getting ready to hurt
yeah.
your kid, why would Chris be there?
Well, maybe it wasn't her. Maybe it was him. Maybe he, and she's just covering up for Chris
So you're saying he
and going
was
along with
there,
his story.
but something happened, so she lied and said he was gone. He said he was gone.
Yes, I think so. I think that they might have evidence that he wasn't where he said he was, because I
But
think they
let me
might
think
have been
about
able to.
that. How stupid that would be to lie to authorities or lie to us, because one thing I've learned about people, they tell different versions to different people. So I can get on the news and tell the news anything, but that don't mean that's what I told the police, because they know the police is not going to tell what you said 9 times out of 10. So I could tell the news anything. You understand what I'm saying? I could tell a YouTuber anything.
Yeah,
So why tell anybody anything when it can be verified that, oh yeah, by the way, there's a camera from Pookie's house that shows you were home. Your truck came in, left, whatever times, you know what I'm saying? Because these people have nice houses. I just can't see these people not having doorbell cameras and security cameras on their homes.
right. That's true. I know. But when these people are not as smart as they seem, that's why they get
Oh, I
caught,
know they're not smart.
right? So if she could say one thing to, the police and another thing to these YouTubers, and
Yeah, and that's what I
that's
keep
how
trying to tell.
that's how they get caught,
Yeah, and that's why I keep trying to tell people that. That's where most people make their mistakes, is that they tell different people different things. Nobody
Yeah,
actually tells their friends and family what they told the police, because they
right.
may have told the police 3 or 4 different versions.
Yeah. And they're going to always, every time they tell a version, they're trying to cover something up to cover themselves, to whoever they're talking to,
Right.
but
Well, let me ask you that
yeah,
then. Do you think they gave different versions to the police?
I do.
Okay.
I don't think that their lies are consistent. As much as Proudfoot tries to grandstand and all, I just think that, and that's why he does all the talking, because I think that she's made a couple mistakes already.
Such as what? Such as elaborate.
Oh gosh.
What has she made a mistake about? Enlighten us, Miss Yvonne. Just asking.
Oh no. Yeah. Well, one thing, um, when she was, let's see, what is it? It has to do with the the thumping and bumping
Okay.
in the bedroom. She uses different, I can't remember, but she used different terminology a couple different times. And then she, um, oh gosh, um, I wasn't prepared to answer that question. But I know in my mind, as I've listened to these
Well,
different
you know,
things,
when you get up here, I'm gonna ask you questions.
I know, ask me another question.
Uh,
But I do think, but
do you need time to think about it?
yeah, I need time to think about, because I know that she's, uh, said a couple different things that were not consistent
Okay.
in a couple of the very early videos
Mm-hmm.
that she did. And that's one of the reasons why, it's speculated that,
Well, how about
Chris
this?
just said, look, let me do the talking.
How about this? You can come home. You won't be in trouble.
Okay. Which tells me that, he was in trouble. He was
Mm-hmm.
in trouble for something. Whether or not he deserved to be in trouble, I don't think, I probably, he didn't deserve to be in trouble, but he was in trouble. And that's why she said that. Oh, you can come home. You won't be in trouble, because for whatever he did or didn't do, in his mind, he was in trouble. And in their mind, he was in trouble too.
Heather says she didn't mention it in the first interview. We'll have to go back.
She didn't mention what about
The
um,
you can come home.
about the thumps. Oh,
You can come home.
yeah. But she did mention it eventually. Right? That's for sure. She did
Yeah,
say that.
yeah.
You won't be in trouble. We just
Cut
want
it
you to
out in
come
there. Cut
home.
it out in there. Whatever you're doing, cut it out in there.
Yeah, which was, probably maybe he was mad at her, and, like with kids, like I know I've had kids where, they're mad at me, they're throwing stuff around in their room or whatever, and I'll
Mhm.
tell them, you can go in your room and be mad or whatever. And then I have to go in there and say, hey, knock it off, because they're throwing stuff around or making noise, pounding their feet on the wall or whatever, because they're mad at me. But you know, I just think that I think that his time of death was somewhere between that 10 and midnight, or 10 11 or whatever, when he was making all that noise. And I think that Chris Proudfoot was in the vicinity. I think they have him geolocated. We'll see it. We'll see if they ever. But unfortunately, I don't know. For whatever reason, I feel like they don't have enough, obviously, to arrest them, which is puzzling.
Well,
Maybe because they can't find him,
well,
and they,
if you discarded a person, hid them well, yeah, exactly.
but they didn't find Harmony Montgomery, and they got him eventually. Took what? How many years? 3, 4 years? It's taken that long now these days when they don't have a body, because these people get smarter and smarter, even though they're still dumb. They still get caught, but it takes longer to catch them.
Yeah.
I think they'll get Proudfoot, but
But look where we are now.
it'll just, I know, 1 year. It's crazy.
Do you
But I
think there'll
don't
be an
think he ever,
arrest?
huh?
Do you think there'll be an arrest?
I do. But I think it could take some time. But I think that there's more evidence. against Proudfoot than they could ever get against that stupid Summer's stupid parents. I don't know why they couldn't catch them. That's maddening. But I think they'll get Proudfoot. Yeah, for sure.
I was trying to find that original interview. I'll have to look at it in Google because for some reason it doesn't come up in the YouTube search. Hold on, let me see. Oh no. Well, there's been a lot of theories.
Yeah, but really not too many theories because everybody kind of knows. I mean,
Yeah,
it could only be
we believe these people are not involved though.
there are people
Yeah, there are people that believe those people didn't do anything.
not involved. Really?
Yeah, really. Well, Yvonne, where have you been?
Oh, I guess. Oh, I guess you mean some of the YouTubers that like
I'm saying there are people
are on
in
their
here
side.
who don't think the parents, did anything to the child.
Yeah, yeah. But I can't. I don't have any respect for those kind of people because it's it's obvious. I mean,
Yeah.
it's logical. You just
Hey, Lori.
you can't you can't deny it. If you want to deny it, then you're one of those people that wants to uh, live in the unreality of
Mm-hmm.
true crime. That's how people actually do get away with crime because people build the unreality and they make that the reality, and then you know people
Well, let's
people
go
don't
back.
get caught.
Let's go back a year ago. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. One second. As I'm circling. Hold on. What a world we live in.
You all, obviously, everyone wants to hear
Oh, Lord. I don't know why this thing is not.
what you have to say. And it's all about bringing Sebastian home and safely. So first, just to express, I can't even imagine as a parent what you two are going through. How would you describe the situation right now? How are you coping?
She has to look at Chris.
We're on a constant roller coaster ride of helpless and hopeless and many other
She couldn't even answer.
emotions all in one, and it's a never-ending roller coaster. It doesn't stop. It won't stop until he walks through the door.
I wouldn't wish this on anyone. Not anyone. I know we're about keeping hope alive. I'm sure that's in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's gotta come home.
He's going through that door.
He's got to come home.
Yeah, the reporter had to tell them to keep hope alive.
Family and relatives all waiting to hug him, love him, and
That boy's gonna have more friends than he knows what to do with when he comes home. So here we are, 8 days now searching for him. Walk us through that Sunday night that he went missing. So walk us through, we've got so many people who really want to know, okay, how did this happen? So kind of just walk us through that night.
We were out and about that day. We were having a really good weekend. We got home. Everything was pretty normal. He was playing in his room. When I told him to go to bed, he did. He said, "Good night, Mom. I love you." Said good night to his puppies. A little bit later, I wound up going to bed, and when I woke him up for school, he wasn't there.
So in your mind, that's usually around what time? When do you normally wake up? Around 6 o'clock? So were you instantly thinking something's wrong, or were you like, he may just be already in the shower, in the living room?
I took a second and walked through the house looking for him in case he'd gotten up and was trying to get breakfast or something, because he did that sometimes. About 3 minutes in, give or take, I was on the phone with my husband. I said, "I can't find him." He said, "What do you mean you can't find him?" I said, "He's not in the house."
And so at that point, is that when you call 911, or what's going through your mind?
Sure. While we were on the phone, and I was like, "Is he on the other side of the bed?" The normal places he may be in the house, he wasn't. So I was like, "Okay, well, hold on a minute." And immediately after that, we called the sheriff's department, made a report.
I ran all over the house, outside, inside. I looked in every closet.
Within minutes, they were here. They responded within minutes, and here we go.
So you said you were on the phone with her, so you were not home.
No, I was at work. I'm a tower crane operator, and I was working in Memphis at the St. Jude project. So it's, I have an earpiece in that talks to my phone. I have another earpiece in that does the radios. So when she was talking to me, I was like, "What?" I was confused. We talked about where he could possibly be, and then we went from there and led to calling the cops, and here we are now.
And within minutes, they're there at the home.
Yes, ma'am.
It was rapid fire. They had cars. They had cars from here down to the
Sign again.
road, as far as I could tell.
So what's going through both of your minds? I mean,
What I read the other day, sign is usually a sign of deception.
I think it's probably at a neighbor's house.
Yeah, stress.
My son doesn't run. He's not a runner. He's never run away before.
That's probably true.
I don't know why. I don't know why he walked out the door.
3 times.
He's a good kid. He's not a mischievous child by any means. But there's answers to questions that have no answers, or questions with no answers right now that we are searching for desperately. We just don't have that.
Is there anything that happened that day that you think back and that there might have been a reason he was possibly upset, or something outside that could have enticed him to go outside? Was there anything that came to mind?
We've been combing over that day and even the weeks before he left, and I haven't been able to figure it out. He's that morning he was laughing, he was joking. Everyone we were around that day agreed that he seemed like he was in a good mood. He was behaving. It'd make more sense if we'd been fighting.
Or he'd been in trouble, but he hasn't been in trouble. So, the $1 million question.
How you know?
Why did he go? And the other $1 million question is how.
What about social media? Was there anything that, maybe wanted to have contacted? I understand he was somewhat of a gamer, or what was he? There was a video game he loved, right?
Minecraft. He loves Minecraft. The game that he has is not online. He has the Switch.
We don't, because of how social media can be, he doesn't have accessibility to communicate with folks
On the internet.
on the internet. I mean, we have a firm belief that we just don't feel that right now that he's
You believe that?
capable of having that kind of responsibility. So
Well, Seth let him on the internet.
on his computers, his game, he doesn't have a gamer tag. He doesn't have online capabilities.
Do you think he sneaked and did it?
He could have.
We've combed every electronic.
We cooperated with all the authorities as far as anything they've asked us to provide. We've provided.
That could have been why he was in trouble if they caught him.
Did he have any friends that could have possibly contacted him in some way?
Hey,
on
Joe.
his phone?
All his friends at school have been questioned to my knowledge, and none of them knew anything.
It's a big question mark. He's vanished. No one can figure out where or why. All right, so let's talk to you about the relationship involved, because the biological father is very much involved in Sebastian's life as well,
Yes, ma'am. Very much.
right? And how would you describe that relationship, the two of them and the four of you?
It's relatively good. I mean, we talk regularly. He talks to his son on a regular basis, sees him on a regular basis. He's involved in school and therapy, and I mean, he doesn't have any extracurricular activities, but I can tell you now, if he did, his dad would be in the front row.
Yet you stopped talking to him after the child goes missing. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Households. And the communication between the three of us is great. I mean, yes, we're just like every
Until the child goes
No,
missing.
The communication is great. Yeah.
There's a team we work
It's bullshit.
and we come up with solutions that as we best see fit. I mean, I'm almost in contact with him almost daily.
Almost daily.
Perfect.
I'm in
Perfect
contact.
family.
Now, Sebastian, tell me about Sebastian.
Well, then what
How
happened?
would you describe him?
Sweet, stubborn. He loves to help. He loves running, and he loves to play his games and his fidgets and Uno. Lord, that's one of his favorite games.
He didn't do anything. The child.
Favorite color is green.
Does he love music?
Oh God, he loves music.
An eclectic taste.
I
An
mean,
eclectic. I mean, from as everybody knows, Eye of the Tiger to Eddie Vedder.
oh yeah.
Oh, and so we got Pearl Jam on one hand, we've got Survivor on the other over here, we've got Taylor Swift. And,
He's got a big crush on her.
Mm.
I mean, country, rock.
no,
Classic.
We don't allow the hip hop.
Well, he doesn't really
Well, I
get
say
into it anyways.
You mentioned he loved running. So, did he love the outdoors at all? I mean, would something outside that was somewhat outdoorsy be enticing to him or pull him outdoors?
He loves, like, when we were in California and the school had this lap thing to gain money. It was a fundraiser. And every year he was, I did this many laps. I mean, I've got t-shirts where they would write on his back. Every time the kids went around, they'd mark a mark on the back and they'd keep running. And he just had marks all the way across his back. He likes playgrounds. He hates being dirty. He don't like being dirty.
Yeah, he's not your tomboy style child where he goes outside and plays in the mud.
He loves animals, but he's terrified of bugs.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I mean, even a fly, and he's like, oh!
And let's talk too, because he's highly functioning. I know you all have described him as having a form of autism.
He does.
But describe that to our viewers too, as far as his way of thinking of things and maybe how determined he was about certain things or his mindset.
He's got a stubborn mindset. If he believes it's this,
He gets on a one-man track, and he is just on it, and he is all about it.
but I mean, he's very smart.
He's
I mean, he can play chess. He can beat adults in chess.
Wow.
And
he loves playing games.
What about navigation? Like, did he have a sense of direction? Do you think he could have possibly even hitched a ride or gotten a ride on a bus or some sort of transportation?
That is a speculation that we don't have an answer for. Just directionally, he knows he could guide you from our house to his dad's house.
Yeah.
I think he can make it up to Culver's ice cream.
He can go to Culver's.
Well, the boy
He
loves
knows
malt.
where Culver's is because Culver's has malt. He loves malt, extra malt. Every time, extra malt.
Now, how far away does his dad live?
Clarksville. His dad lives up by Clarksville.
So he could guide someone all the way to Clarksville.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. So a pretty keen sense of direction, at least with certain things.
Familiar routes.
Yes.
Familiar routes.
Familiar
And
routes.
if I took him another route going
He
this way,
takes
he would
it.
not know it.
He goes up there so often that he knows how to get to his daddy's. We know that.
His dad works with him as far as, well, we're going this way, we're going that way, and keeps the same thing, and it works out. So
Let's talk too, because earlier, Chris, you and I were talking, and you were saying that there are a lot of people who are harassing both of you.
8 days in.
What, if any of that, do you want to address? What do you want to say to any of
Wow.
these people?
Just that you don't know. And I don't wish you to ever know.
I would say it like this: everybody has an opinion, you know, and it's perfectly okay to have that opinion. But you're not in this situation. You don't quite understand. I wish people would step back, take a different, wide open view, and not assume what they know. It's just better to stick to the facts. If they have questions, all they have to do is ask.
And what are those facts?
I pray genuinely that no
Yeah,
one
he said, we don't understand. What don't we understand?
Just be kind to people. I mean, it's real simple.
And that's what somebody would say that's killed a kid.
Yeah.
And others.
There are some people who have been talking, because I know this is part of the harassment. Is there anything you want to address about this child custody situation?
Now he's laughing.
So I have a current case that is ongoing in another state. We've requested that case to be sealed because there are some individuals who have taken upon themselves to put stuff out there that they don't quite know, which all they have to do is ask, I'll tell you. But because of that, you know, it has nothing to do with our son. It has nothing to do with the situation. You know, I just people.
Except that past behavior predicts future behavior.
It's
Right. It's always relevant.
totally different.
If Sebastian is able to watch this, and maybe he's watching this as it airs, and if he is, what do you want to say to Sebastian? What do you want him to hear from you right now?
Oh gosh. That we love you so much. And we want you to come home. And you're not in trouble.
Well, not in trouble.
I guarantee you.
I don't know which interview this was.
And trust me, the open arms are waiting for him to come home. From every parent to every family member.
It's his first time on television.
But there's no malice, so we just want our boy home. Bad. But
That mama's heart, I know it's daddy's too,
And the dad, and she's so
but I
positive, the
feel like
reporter.
there's always that extra special bond.
Yeah.
Walk us through what you're thinking right now.
I just want my baby to be okay. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he's at.
Rocking back and forth.
She might not. Maybe Chris didn't tell her where she's at.
Even my church body, I mean, we're all praying. We're all praying for his safe return quickly. What do you all want to say to the community?
Thank you.
with everything from the bottom of our hearts. I would not have imagined how far this has gotten, but there's no way to repay gratitude, the love that we have felt from the community, the prayers. But thank you.
But
From the
don't
bottom of
stop
our hearts,
looking.
please.
My son is somewhere.
So here she appears like she's crying. I don't see water, but her nose is running and it's red.
So we have, let's hit on the search itself, because we know thousands of miles have basically been traced and retraced. We've got hundreds.
Okay, Giovanni, how are you?
We've got law enforcement from within the state, outside of the state. I mean, do you feel like they're doing as much as they can? I mean, you all have been right there in the front seat, seeing everything that's underway.
As far as I know, they're doing everything. Anything and everything has been an option. They have brought in assets and resources from various counties, potentially other states. I mean, I don't know how much more they could do, but we're grateful for everything they have done.
They're amazing, but they still haven't brought my baby back.
They will.
They haven't brought my baby back. He says they will.
He's out there somewhere. So it's one day at a time, getting through this and bringing him home. What is the reaction to the fact that somehow his image, he hasn't been captured on any video anywhere?
But it was very dark that night. I mean, it gets dark around here at night in general, but so far we haven't found him on any camera footage to prove where he's at or where he's gone. I know that they're looking at what
That right there is just a clincher for me.
trail cams, stores, to check even from before he went missing, just to see if there's anything at all.
And I understand there was a request for video, any sort of footage of Sebastian from earlier in the day on Sunday before he disappeared.
That I don't believe we can comment on right now. That is not something that I believe we're privy to at this point with law enforcement. That is something I would definitely direct back to them. But I mean, there's all kinds of requests out there. There's thousands of hours of video that they are combing, and we're just hoping they'll find something.
And I know this is so sensitive. What do you say to people who inevitably end up pointing their finger back at you?
That don't make sense. Find something. She was with him. That makes sense.
Are you both in the clear?
I can tell you that Mom, myself, and the father have worked very fully and cooperatively with all agencies across the board. We have anything that they've wanted, we have provided. So cooperation is there. I mean,
what do you want to say to our viewers? Anybody who's watching, we've got a lot of folks in this
See,
community.
that's what John Ramsey said to
Just throughout the state as well.
media.
What do you want
It
to say?
wasn't true.
Help spread the word.
He
keep
said what?
searching, and
John Ramsey said that they told everything to the police that they needed to know, but that wasn't true. That's just what they told the media.
thank all the viewers, everybody that's helped from across the board. I mean, everybody has been tremendous.
call his name.
Yeah.
He'll answer, and if he doesn't answer, he'll look, even if he's not being verbal at the moment, because he can talk, but sometimes he don't talk. Call his name. Tell him to stay put.
He could be on the move, so keep checking your properties.
Yes. Like, the search is never over until he comes home. That is for
He's so
sure.
smart.
But thank you for everything that everybody has done.
He's so
has
smart.
volunteered, the continuous efforts. I mean, it's,
Interesting.
like I said, I've never seen something to this magnitude before.
Our community is amazing.
We're all praying, hoping, and searching. for Sebastian's safe return for that day. Thank you both for talking with me.
All right, everybody. This was published March 5th, 2024 at 8:24 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Under the caption, under the picture, it says, as the search for missing teenager Sebastian Rogers continues, his parents are speaking out for the first time on television. Naturally, they've shown clips of this, originally in the YouTube queue, but this is the entire video at 22 minutes. Okay? Now, first time hearing this video, what did you think? And now what do you think listening to it again? Let me see what this person is saying back here. Yvonne?
Yes. I still.
Did you hear this the first time in the entirety?
Yes, I think I did. And I heard it when it originally was aired. And I just feel like there's a lot of questionable verbiage, because like even when she said, oh, it was a good day, I mean, that's what Sarah Boone said about her day with Jorge. It was just like, I don't think it was a good day. I don't know, but I don't have any proof of that, of course. But, I think it started off bad. I think it was a bad day. And it just got worse. And then.
So now you're saying you think the day started off first. You said you think something happened in the house. Now you're saying you think the whole day started off bad.
Well, I think it culminated eventually in the night, in the evening or whatever. But I just, I just have a feeling that the fact that she said, oh, it was a good day, that's what people say when it isn't a good day in true crime. That's kind of a pattern. But, I mean, maybe it was a good day, but my feeling, no. But I think that, but see, the thing is, I don't know, because
listen, Yvonne, you can't see this being planned out.
I don't think it was planned out very far. If it was planned, I see it as, somebody losing their temper or some kind of an accident happening. I don't think that they, planned it ahead of
Chris
time.
has talked about the boy being a hindrance at the house. It looks like it could be pre-planned because he's spoken about that on someone's network, last year about, he couldn't come back to the house or something. So why would you be talking about that in relation to this case? You can't come back to your house. I mean, that would give a person pause to think this would be a reason to get rid of this kid. I want to come back to my house. I pay rent there. I pay a mortgage there. I mean, you got to think like how he's thinking. That's why I was trying to tell people, you have to get in the mind of the people involved. So you don't know everything. So when he was talking on all these live streams, he was giving you bits and pieces of his world. That is something that, why would you even be talking about going back to your house to stay? That would be the last thing I would be telling a bunch of strangers on a YouTube channel.
That's true. That's true.
So that gives me pause to think, well, this could be deliberate. I want to get back in my house. I'm not going to think about it. He doesn't want to pay rent somewhere where he can't stay. That's anybody.
Yeah. But he was doing
crazy story. Yeah, but that's because he worked somewhere else. He worked somewhere else. That's natural. You got a house somewhere and then you're working out of town. But to not be able to go back for reasons such as allegations of abuse, or you're not getting along with the kid, or he wasn't supposed to be around the kids. See, we don't really know what the hell is going on with these people because DHS is not going to tell us all of the allegations, what they found, what they told Chris, what they told Katie. We have no idea. But imagine somebody telling you, hey, lady, you can't have it both. You can't have the kid and have the husband there. So what did she do? How can I get my husband back in my house? Who do I sacrifice, the husband or my kid, if this is true?
Yeah. Right. Right. That's the other possibility. that has there's some evidentiary merit to that
And the fact that
theory.
he asked when she mentioned about the other case, he chuckled like, "Oh, that, yeah, oh, that." You've been having
Yeah,
problems with that mother for some time, even before you met Katie.
yeah,
You were not a good guy when she was dating you before she even married you. See, that woman should have never married Christopher Proudfoot because one, they didn't get along, and he had abused her other children. So why would you get with somebody that's abused your kid? That makes no fucking sense. You want to be
yeah.
with an
But she
abuser
got
on
with him real fast. She
but
got with
listen,
him real fast before she really knew what she was getting herself into.
no, listen.
You know,
Don't do that. Somebody puts their fucking hand on your fucking kid. I don't care if you met them yesterday or you've been with them 2 years. When you start slapping children around, what reason do you have to stay with them? You want to be
was
with an
that
abuser
before?
on your own? Let me finish. If you want to be with an abuser on your own, that's your prerogative. But you ain't gonna do it. You don't need to do it with a fucking kid in tow.
Right. But I thought that he put his hands on her kids after they were married, after she was at the uh, military base
Well,
with
I
him
don't
or
know.
whatever.
Well, before, after, what's the difference? She said it many times. She hung around trying to make it work when she saw signs she didn't have no business with this man.
Yeah.
See, I didn't never
That,
get a time
yeah,
frame
right.
of when he hit the kid before, hit the kid after. You still were with him.
Yeah. But she started trying to get away from him, but she was afraid of him because of his temper. And that's the problem.
That's why she had the
That's
perfect
Chris's problem.
setup with being a Native American. Go run, hide. He would have no jurisdiction on a base. I mean, on native land to be poking,
Right.
prodding, looking for her or nothing. She had the apple right there. She didn't utilize it because I believe she
Right.
admitted that before. That's who she should have got her divorce through, was through the native land instead of going to regular court trying to get a damn divorce.
Exactly. Yep. But 2020, hindsight 2020, right? Like you don't know things until you go through it and you think, gosh,
Okay, so just
how
like
dumb was I?
coming down here to Tennessee, let's go there. If you want to really get to the nitty gritty, she should have never came down here. They tried to keep her kid.
Right. And if she would have known the kind of person that he is, his personality type, that the first thing they want to do is isolate you and take you away from your family and your foundation, she would have known not to do that, but she didn't obviously know, you
Uh,
know.
now I'm going to disagree with you there. You want me to sit here and believe she had no idea what she had been dealing with before she came to Tennessee?
Well, what I'm saying is she didn't realize how desperately in danger she was until she was away from all her base, and until she was isolated and she saw exactly how how dangerous and what a dangerous position she was in. And I
Well,
only say that because it's happened to me,
mm-hmm.
and uh you know i was
Well,
I was
she's lucky
just very naive about it.
if they killed this kid, let's keep it real. If they killed this kid, she probably thinks about that all the time. How her ass could have ended up missing. That's the point I'm trying to make. They have a whole kid
Yeah.
missing in Tennessee from their house. So you were dealing with this motherfucker back in California or wherever the hell she met him at, New Mexico, wherever. So then you saw signs that Christopher Proudfoot was not right at some point in that relationship. And yet I'm saying she still followed him down here anyway. Anyway, she said that. She knew there was something not right with him before coming to Tennessee. So naturally,
Well,
yeah,
that
I'll get her down here. Let me finish. I'll get her down here so I can get that kid away from her. That was to spite her. He don't give a fuck about Faith.
right.
I'm going to sit here and believe he cares about Faith because one, he didn't even want no fucking kid. That's what I'm trying to tell you. She gave us a lot of hints that he was not the guy for her. The man didn't even want a kid. At what point do you say to yourself, okay, why am I still chasing this man?
Yeah, and that's it. Probably that's what it was. She
Forgot
was
about that,
chasing
didn't you?
him.
You forgot about the hospital thing? He didn't even want to come see her in the hospital. Do I need to keep going on?
Yeah.
Yvonne?
No, I got it.
No, I'm
I
not trying to
got
be
it.
rude, but you understand what I'm saying. She gave a lot
Yeah,
of instances to show she had no business hanging on, let alone coming to Tennessee. He was showing her back there across the fucking country. He wasn't the guy for her.
I know. But what it proves is that he is capable, like I was saying earlier, past behavior predicts future behavior, you know, and he was manhandling her kids, blah, blah, blah. And, you think that's going to stop just because he moves on to another woman with another child?
No, it didn't stop.
That's,
That's why we have a whole kid missing. That's what I'm saying. Every
yeah,
day, Nina
yeah,
gets to sit back and think about her life with Christopher Proudfoot. She gets to think of the things he did and said to her while they were together, and she knows in her spirit too. Sebastian is gone. She knows that because she knows how he
right,
treated her and what he and his parents did to her when she came to Tennessee. I have always said that when I
right.
listen to her story. She is lucky to be alive
Mm-hmm.
because that behavior of how they treated her when she came to Tennessee was barbaric and it was intentional. It was
Right.
intentional. So if you can do that to her, hide a kid out, wouldn't allow a mother to see her kid, and then poof, voila, this woman that you're married to, her whole kid goes missing. Come on now.
Yeah, that's
Come on
why,
now. Uh-uh. No, that's too
that,
convenient. That's too creepy. That's too creepy. The whole kid goes missing with your new wife. But your previous wife, you lured her here to hold that kid hostage. Okay.
yeah, it just escalates. The behavior just escalates. And now you got the whole kid gone.
Yeah, a whole fucking kid.
So,
So she has to sit and think about that. All the stuff she's gone through with Christopher Proudfoot, having a kid by him. She had to been on pins and needles when she had to send her kid down here last year. Who would want to send their kid down here and after what they've been through with him and his family, and now this lady got a whole fucking kid missing? I don't want to send my kid down here.
never.
How do I know I'm going to get my kid back again?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-uh. I deal in the real, honey. That's just queen. And ain't no way I'd want to send my kid down here after what I've been through with Christopher Proudfoot. Hell no to the no. And now a whole damn kid missing, and I know what he's capable of. So can
Right.
you
I
imagine
mean, and I don't see,
what she thought about? Like, oh my God, this lady's got a whole kid and he's missing. And I know what he's about.
right. So her kid never went though, did it? Did she or did she?
What you mean? Yeah, the
I've
kid
never,
came here.
oh, Faith did come,
Somebody took pictures of her in the restaurant with Katie.
and that was for real.
Yes, it was real, Yvonne.
Okay, I missed that part.
Yeah, somebody took a picture.
So it was court ordered. Was it court ordered?
I guess it was.
Yeah.
Well, if it wasn't court order, why would I send my baby back down here?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It better have been
I'm
court
not going to
ordered.
send my baby down here after what I've been through with you, and you have a whole kid missing from your house.
But they're going to be real on their best behavior, and that's probably the safest Faith has ever been in their custody.
No, Patricia, the handicap don't got nothing to do with it. The handicap just exacerbated the situation. Christopher already has a bad attitude, so it wouldn't matter if the child was handicapped or not. If the child was acting out, he's the same. He's the same.
Yeah.
And then, too, we don't really know Katie. For all we know, she's never bonded with the child. She's not happy. She's doing whatever she can to hold on to a man, a nice house. You'd be surprised what people will do for money, a house, a car, a boat. Aesthetics, how shit looks. She's probably not a very happy person. He's not a happy person. You can tell with him being on YouTube, they're not happy people. Happy people don't come to
Yeah.
YouTube to jump on panels and talk bad about their missing kid. That's not a happy person.
Right.
They're not happy.
And after she had Sebastian, she wanted to go back to work, right? I mean, Seth had to stay home and take care of him and change his diapers and feed him the bottle and all that because she was up and out of there.
That was probably her escape in the first place from Seth and the kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
this is my way. This
So,
is my way. This is my way out.
and if, as a mom, if you don't bond with your child, I mean, you might as well not have the child. You
Well,
have to
what
have
she
a
did, you
bond
got
with
to
the
remember,
child.
she was a young person when she had her kid. And like I've always said, nobody teaches you how to be a good parent. You learn that on your own. People can be in your ear all day on what you should, coulda, woulda, but that's not the point. The point is, you're alone with the kid. You have to navigate. There's no guidebook on how to be a good parent. She came from a horrible existence, allegedly, so she wouldn't know about how to be a good parent. That's just really expected. So people
Right.
always have to think about that. I'm not making excuses for Katie, but I'm just saying you didn't get anything from your own life. You can't go out in the world. People get pregnant all the time. We talk about this till we're blue in the face. You can have a kid all damn day. That don't mean you're going to bond with the kid, because you got to have something to bond with. You got to have something inside to bond with. If you come from a turbulent life, you don't have anything to give. Now, the next person, they could have a lot to give, but that's the whole point. We're talking about two different people. She obviously wanted to be away, or she wanted a career. I don't really know, but I just think if you go back and look at things, 2020 hindsight, the behavior of this woman, young, wanted to be in the military, away from her child, and then poof, voila, many years later, she's with this tyrant of a man who also has bad history with another wife and kids. And then now, poof, her whole kid is gone. There is a cycle here.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a cycle.
Yeah. Yep. But I wonder, what did he do with Sebastian? That's the thing. Where did he take him?
You dumped him.
Where?
It's a long state, honey.
Where?
This is a long state.
I know.
The child could be anywhere, right in plain sight. You wouldn't see him.
That's a shame.
I know, Carla. This is a very long state. You're talking about damn near 10 hours from one end of the state to the other, 8 hours travel from East Tennessee all the way down to Memphis. You dump a body anywhere, especially summer months, because you're talking about high grass, high foliage. You wouldn't even see a person dumped in the woods. Could be anywhere. He could be near Arkansas, could have crossed into Arkansas, could have crossed into Kentucky, Middle Tennessee, could have went into Alabama, could have went anywhere. He travels down the highway, probably dumped him on his way back to Memphis. Because that's the whole point. Nobody knows that he was going to, hey, we don't know that you're getting ready to go unalive a kid. You're going to be dumping a kid somewhere. You got time to think, pick a place, any old place. This is sad. But I don't think the kid's alive. Because these people got too much negativity in their past for me to believe that the kid's alive. Hello? Oh, she turned her mic off. As a mom, I would think they reached out to her since she has a child with him. I don't know how the system works, but it needs to do better to protect these kids. Yeah, see, that's what I was trying to explain to people before my live streams. You don't really know what Tennessee has done as far as being in cahoots with this lady, Faith, and her kid. You don't know if somebody reached out to her to question her or ask her anything about her kid, or if she contacted, authorities here. See, you don't know. We don't even know if a judge here. See, we don't even know who ordered for the child to even come here. If it's a Tennessee judge or if it's a judge from out there.
Hey, Queen, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Have they said anything about a grand jury for this case?
Who will
if
be
there's
talking about
ever,
the grand jury?
huh? The grand
Who?
jury for the case for Sebastian.
But I'm just saying, who will be talking about a grand jury?
I'm saying, have you heard of anything like that they've collected enough evidence to take it to a grand jury, or do you
No,
think that that's
you're not going to hear
possible
that.
and we
But
just
you're not
don't
going to
know?
hear that though. But you're not going to hear that. Who's going to tell you about a grand jury?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, see, there's could be a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we don't know about right now.
Okay.
And I mean, the cops are working that could be working it and getting things together,
1
you
year
know.
later.
1 year later, it takes time. It does. Unfortunately,
Well, I'm going
you
to
have
tell
to
you this.
be.
With it being a whole year later, that means somebody was very careful. I'm going to leave it like that.
Yeah, I know. But fact is, he's gone. So they have to follow it to its conclusion. Hopefully, they will get there. It takes a long time.
That's if you got people that know what they're doing. Now, TBI is involved, so I will put my faith in TBI before I would a small jurisdiction. Because if you're not accustomed to high crime, you don't have people that's qualified to do that kind of work. You understand what I'm saying? We have to know that they
Yeah,
have detectives that are seasoned in solving homicides, murder, disappearances. If you have never worked a case like
yeah,
this, you're not going to have the expertise. You have to have several of these cases under your belt to know what you're doing, what to look for. You know what I'm saying? And we've
yeah.
seen
And they have to have the technology too.
we've seen so many times over the years and so many cases where shit was sitting right there in front of them. Like the other day, I was listening to a story where they just arrested this old man for the murder of this woman from the 70s or whatever. And all along, he was somebody they asked, that they inquired about in her disappearance. But yet, here we go, all these damn years later with all this DNA technology. You mean to tell me you just now deciding to go reopen the case? And because he had committed some robbery or something years ago, the law official took his DNA and put it in the CODIS, and that's how they matched it. But it's still crazy because DNA's been around for some time. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
My
it had it. Go
thing
ahead.
is, I would go back to the person who I thought could know something. I'd have went back in the book of life, whether he had put DNA in the CODIS or not. I'd have went and found that man again. That's what I'm saying. Hey, I want to talk to you again about this case. Sure you don't know anything about her? Who's to say he could have got spooked?
Right.
You don't know because you didn't ask. You didn't go back and talk to the man again. You
Well,
can't wait for somebody to commit a crime and see if the law official is going to put their DNA in CODIS. The man is 70-something years old now.
Uh-huh. Yep. They got a lot more platforms that they can go to in their DNA now too. And the DNA is just getting so much, it's a lot better than it was in the 70s or
Well,
whatever.
Dreaming 9, what would make you think he's hit? Why would somebody hide out a 15-year-old kid? For what reason? Hide him out for what? You think somebody's just going to keep your kid for free? I'm just saying. Make it make sense. I listen to everybody's theories, and you gotta think logically. What is the point of hiding out a fucking kid that's almost grown? For what? Seriously.
And that would mean they'd have to care about him.
That's my point. Everybody can't even deal with autistic children. That's why I would tell people, think about what you're saying. You're talking about an autistic kid you don't know nothing about, and you're going to hide him out for what reason? What are you gaining by hiding an autistic kid? Somebody comes up to you and say, hey, hide my kid out. And you're going to say what in response? Oh, yeah, sure. I'll hide your autistic kid out. But why am I doing this? Just saying. What would be the reason?
I think that theory got ruled out a long time ago.
Yeah, he's not hitting nowhere. He's not in no institution. He's not in no group home. That would be against the law for you to take in a fucking missing kid on an Amber Alert. Come on now. That'd be the first thing somebody say. Oh, this kid's missing. He's not in no group home. He's not in no group home. He's not in no private home. He's not nowhere in nobody's house living. I doubt it.
He's in the ground, or he's in the water, or somewhere.
They wanted that kid gone for whatever selfish reason. They did not want to be bothered with this kid. And see, the one thing I have talked about on this network is that people don't understand what it's like taking care of developmentally delayed individuals. It is a lifelong issue depending on the person's mindset to navigate as an adult. In a few years, he would be grown. If he could not go out here and work a job, drive a car, put a key in a door, they were stuck with him. I don't hate to word it like that, but it's just the truth. And that's possibly what they saw and what they thought about. We are never going to be free from him. And she might have been worried about what people are going to think of her. Oh, he's living with the father, but people might say, well, I don't ever see you talking about him. You don't post pictures of him anymore. Do you still see your son? Do you pick him up? Do you visit? She may have wanted to be cold turkey, be done with him altogether. So you have to get in the mind of other people in order to get to the bottom. You know what I'm saying? To get to the answers. You may say, well, I don't think like that. Of course not, because you're not Katie Proudfoot. You're not Christopher Proudfoot. But if you're tired of being bothered with somebody, that's the only way you're going to get to the bottom of this story. You got to get in the minds of these two people, what they actually felt for the kid. He was going to be a lifelong burden. They wanted to be possibly free of him. I don't want to take care of him at 18. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to take care of him at 16. I don't want to be walking around taking care of a 20-something-year-old man who can't be self-sufficient. Trust me, I live around all types of people, and you'd be surprised what people do with developmentally delayed people. Just let them live on their own, and they just all over the place running around. They're taking up with all kind of people, letting different kind of people in their house, in their apartments and stuff. This is why developmentally delayed people don't need to be on their own. You can't just give them a key to an apartment. You understand what I'm saying? I know somebody right now that leaves their fucking key in the door. They don't have no business with no apartment. But obviously the mother don't want to take care of him, so he's on his own.
Sad. Very sad.
Yeah. You're assuming he's going to have good judgment not to let somebody in his apartment? Come on. That's how a lot of these people end up hurt. Sexually assaulted, robbed.
Yeah.
Now, I have worked with, as I've told people, I've worked with, mentally challenged adults in a group home setting. I've done it, private care in their home. But they're easily to be taken advantage of. Everybody knows this. Just like any person that's needing care.
Yeah. Right.
And perhaps Sebastian wasn't going to be that person who was going to be able to navigate on his own. I mean, Seth said that. No, he would not be able to take care of himself once an adult. So Katie and Chris knew this. No matter what the fuck was going on in their house, they also knew they were going to have to take care of this kid unless Seth stepped in and took the kid.
Yeah. Because he wasn't just the autism, he had that chromosomal disorder too.
So even with Seth taking the kid, she still may have felt like, but Seth is going to still expect me to deal with the kid. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's something that I don't think a lot of people focus on. Okay, Seth gets the kid, but the expectation from society would be, hey, the mom is still going to call. The mom is still going to want to go visit him. The mom's still going to have him come over for holidays, and not if I don't want to be bothered anymore.
Right. She didn't want to be the primary caregiver anymore.
Or period.
Yeah.
Holidays,
Period.
Easter, weekend. And she might have been worried about what people are going to think. See, we don't really know what was going on. I don't know what the fuck was really going on in that house between all three people. And I don't think you're ever going to get the truth. Not about
I
faith
lost
and
you.
this and that. Child CPS reports, and he wanted to move back in the house, or he was told he couldn't stay there. So we really don't know because we don't got no receipts or something in ink to say this, and this was going on.
Right. It's just hearsay
Yeah,
right
but
now.
something was amiss with these people. And it's obvious because when you listen to this interview, they told on themselves. You're sitting here acting like the child wasn't a problem. All of you all got along. All three of you adults got along. You all talked to Seth, blah, 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 blah. He's in the life of the kid. But as soon as he goes missing, you stop talking to Seth. So you just
Yeah.
contradict yourself.
It's all the opposite of what they said.
That's what leads me to believe they deliberately got rid of the kid.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm done with him. He's gone. I don't need to talk to Seth. For what? The kid ain't coming back. That's why I keep trying to tell people. That's why I know the child ain't alive. Because if I get rid of the kid, I don't got no reason to talk to Seth. Bingo card. Come on. What do I need to talk to Seth about? The kid is gone. He ain't coming back. We don't need to talk to Seth. We know he ain't coming back. Seth don't know that. I ain't going to tell him, hey, we knocked off your kid. But I'm going to cut his ass off because I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to look him in the face knowing I hurt his kid.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think people stop talking to people when a person goes missing? What is the first thing you hear pertaining to a missing person? The spouse, the girlfriend, the boyfriend, whomever stops talking to the family.
Yep.
They lawyer up. That's the first thing you hear negative when a person goes missing. Oh, he won't talk to us anymore. He changed his phone number. She won't answer the phone, blah, blah, blah. That's exactly what Katie Proudfoot and Christopher did. Who does that when you all are allegedly talking all the time? Christopher's talking to Seth. You all had a good relationship. Well, she said relatively a good relationship. Okay, relatively, you cut the father off. Why? Because you relatively killed that man's kid? For whatever reason, accident, not accident, however you want to word it, CPS reports, however you want to word it. What does it have to do with cutting off Seth? Because you know the kid's not coming back. They know the kid's not coming back. That's why they cut off Seth Rogers. What is that old saying? Out of sight, out of mind. We're done. It's over with. Party over. The child's not coming back. We don't have any need in conversing with Seth Rogers. There's nothing to talk about. There's no canoodling about this kid like, oh, he's lost in the wilderness. We'll find him. They know he's not coming back. That's the whole purpose of cutting Seth Rogers off. We are done with the Rogers. Checkmate. And that's a terrible way to word it. But as most of you know, I'm a realist and I deal in real life emotions. I deal in real life emotions. I don't sugarcoat nothing over here. That was your telltale sign they got rid of the kid when they cut Seth off. Because you see, you lead by example. It's just like when people get divorced or break up in relationships. Sometimes they still deal with people's family. Sometimes they don't. But when some people are done with you, they say, hell, I'm done with every fucking body. I'm done with your mammy, your daddy, your sister, your brother. I don't want to talk to your mama. I don't want her calling me. I'm going to block her, delete her. I'm done. You cut the whole fucking family off. That's what they did. They cut Seth off at the ankle. Because when you think about it, it makes common sense. You've knocked off this man's kid. You don't have any reason to talk to Seth. For what? It's over with. Party over. We can't move on from the kid. We're still talking to Seth. Duh. You all better wake up. I'm woke. I'm all the way woke. Well, and that's up to Seth to come to that realization. And that's, like I said before in my commentary, that's a hard thing to reconcile. Somebody has murdered your kid. That's a hard thing to put off your tongue to say to the public. And Seth may have thought this all along, but he didn't want to tell people that. He wanted to see how they were going to navigate and respond. And if he felt like, well, if I keep, poking the bear and try to deal with these people, maybe they'll slip up and tell on themselves. But indeed, I think they have told on themselves. I think they've told us a lie. I think they've told us they never cared for Sebastian. When he went missing, the mother moved on. She traveled down to Memphis to be with her husband. Refused to talk to the news again, except for Nancy Grace. The Steph Paul jumped all over YouTube like a jackrabbit, but not a reputable news source. So see, that was telling right there. Eye of the tiger. You didn't really want to go into the eye of the tiger. So that's why you played around in YouTube. Because YouTube is just a bunch of silly putty. It's not the real deal like Big Boy News, CNN. We're not going to go and sit across the table with a real reporter, a real news anchor. We're going to play hopscotch with a bunch of $2 ass YouTubers. And you see where that got you. Ostracized even more. And now they're playing all these reindeer games with PIs and, $2 ass private investigators that's wrapped up in other crazy ass stories of people faking their disappearances and shit. You couldn't even work with me, and you over here helping these people, and this girl faked her disappearance out west, the girl from Hawaii. I always tell people, pay attention. Birds of a feather. I'm woke. Are you woke? That's all I've done since Sebastian went missing. I've paid attention to the details, not the gossip, not the rhetoric, not all this hee-haw ass shit that's been going on up here for almost a year. I pay attention to what is real. Not unicorns and, UFOs and shit. I pay attention to the real deal. I pay attention to how you act, how you talk about your kid. That's what Queen watches, not this other stuff. Because this other stuff is irrelevant. How are you acting since your child went missing? What have you said about your child? What is your demeanor pertaining to your child, your stepchild? Checkmate. I see deception. I smell deception. All the kiki-keying and the rocking back and forth and fake crying and laughing when somebody's asking you about your other custody case. They're telling on themselves in the damn interview. And one thing I've said 1,000 times. What I tell the police ain't what I'm going to tell the news. Ain't what I'm going to tell my mama, my daddy, my neighbor. You all better wake up. You're welcome soon. These people probably have told 5, 6 different versions pertaining to Sebastian Rogers. Where he went, what he did, what you said, blah, blah, blah. Just like he telling, well, I can't give you no information about the surveillance and this, that, and the other. There have been requests put in and blah, blah, blah. Katie know where she went with the boy, and he does too. Why would Katie and Christopher need to put in requests of surveillance? That don't make no sense. So I'm still looking at him like, well, who is he talking about? You mean the police put in requests of everywhere that Katie went? The Proudfoots don't need no requests because they know where they went with the boy. Katie knows where she took her kid. She knows exactly where she took her fucking kid. And you can best believe she has repeated verbatim to that little Teletubby of hers. We went here, 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 here. He did this, 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 and this. This is atrocious. But I talk about this all the time on this network because it needs to be said. You don't know people. You have no idea who you are talking to on a daily basis. And I have shared many stories with you all over the years of me being on this network, okay? This summer will mark 6 years I've been on YouTube. And the stories I have shared were all real. They were not fake. Of people being deceived by other people, whether they were dead or they're still here alive. But they are real stories. And I've shared a story with you all recently about dealing with a person who did nothing but lie. Still lying. Recently. Some of you be like, oh my God, Queen, tell me no. But yes, still lying about unnecessary things. And this is what I always tell you all. If a person is willing to lie about the most mundane of things, what will they do to cover the lie? That's what you need to understand about human nature. How far are you willing to go to keep the lie going? And that's what you have here pertaining to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. People who are deceptive and continuing to lie to cover up the truth. Now, some people will not go to the extreme of unaliving a human to cover a lie. But there are others who will. And I believe that is the case here pertaining to this missing kid. You don't know people. And you'd be surprised how people think of you. And I've talked about that recently here on the network. That if you really knew what people thought about you, you wouldn't even deal with them. Because some of you, just like myself, you think people like you, you think they care about you, you think they hold you in the highest regard. They do not. That deep down inside, they hate your fucking guts. They tolerate you for whatever reason. I know because I've done it. Let me speak my truth. I have tolerated a lot of bullshit, even dealing with this YouTube business. And there comes a point when I have to tell myself, I'm out. I ain't participating because I don't got to. Well, it's no different than this case here. To me, this case is the same. Somebody got tired of dealing with a kid. I believe that. Sounds horrible, sounds cold, sounds malicious. But I think somebody got tired of dealing with a kid. Somebody wanted out for whatever reason. And they knocked off this kid. Could be an accident. They covered it up. Could be. Anything's possible. But I think it's pre-planned. And you know why I think it's pre-planned? Because there are no arrests. There's no update to an actual sighting or evidentiary material of the child being alive or dead. And when you have a case where there's nothing that you can even give the public as far as dog scent, CCTV footage, that leads me to believe you planned this crime. And that's why there's nothing to tell the public. Because you covered all your tracks, so you thought. And let's be truthful. When you plan a murder, it is much easier to get away with it. Because you have time to map it out, to turn off GPS services, to turn off cell phones, add other people in to help meet and greet, carry the load. And then we're talking about rural America. They're out in the middle of nowhere. Miles and miles of road with no cameras to take a body and dispose of it with no CCTV footage. Because that's the whole point, right? Nobody knew that somebody was going to knock off a kid, dump a kid. So you've got time to go down the highway into the abyss and discard a body. And it's sickening to even have to repeat this. But this is why you don't have no update pertaining to Sebastian. But the one thing I've learned about murder is that there are 50 ways to kill a person and 100 ways to get caught. So if indeed this child is not alive and he was unalive by these two participants or more, you've got 100 ways to be found out. And I'm sure you're sitting around wondering what TBI in Sumner County has and don't have. I'm praying they have something. And whoever participated, all go down. Every single person. 1, 2, 3, 4, whomever. Because he didn't deserve this. He's a child of God. First. Let me make that clear. He's a child of God first. And nothing good can come to you when you have harmed God's children. So you can walk around and live high off the hog and your steak and potato and walk around thinking you're doing good in life, but nothing good will ever come to anyone that has harmed Sebastian Rogers. You can believe that. Not now, not never. And whoever harmed this boy child, I pray you never get a waking moment of rest. Ever. That you tiptoe when you walk. Because you deserve that. Autistic or not, he's a child of God. And he didn't ask to be here. And he did not choose his parents. But sadly, if it is true, he paid the ultimate price for life. And that was not his fault. That's my commentary. This Wednesday, an interview will air pertaining to Katie Proudfoot. And I'm assuming her husband as well. They have decided to speak to the news so conveniently 1 year later to the date of Sebastian's disappearance. What will they have to say to the public? As I've said, a day late, dollar short. I don't believe anything they have to say, and I'm not really interested. But as I've always said, I will only bring you an update pertaining to anything that's brought from the news or law officials pertaining to the disappearance of this child. And I will be back this week when the interview is aired, and I will bring you that information. Prayers for Sebastian Rogers. Prayers to Mr. Seth. Prayers to all children. Please follow my content pertaining to the 3 children abandoned in Pontiac, Michigan. Prayers for their survival, because those children are going to need a lot of love and understanding and patience, considering what their trifling ass, black ass mama did to them, leaving them alone in squalor, filth, and fecal matter. And she's a prime example of what I'm talking about too. You don't know people. You're welcome. Walking around, prancing around on Facebook, and she's left 3 kids to fucking die in a fucking condo. Sleeping on pizza boxes. Boo-boo all over the place, what the one guy said that cleaned up the place. Please check out my live from earlier. That's what she thought of her kids. Absolutely nothing. Now she sits in a county jail, $250 million bond, 3 counts of first-degree child abuse. The children are in foster care with a paternal grandfather. I pray that these people treat these children well, because these kids have a long road ahead of them, because now they have to learn how to use the restroom, bathe, wipe themselves, brush their teeth, comb their hair, because they don't know how to do any of those things. 15, 12, and 13. And the other boy child, 9, lives with his father. So as I've said before, you don't know people. What they say on YouTube, IG, Facebook Lives is bullshit. It's just an illusion, because you can be whoever you want to be behind a microphone, a computer screen, a live stream. You don't know people. That's my commentary, everybody. Prayers for the truth. Prayers for resolution. Thank you, Yvonne, for giving your commentary up here. Thank you all for listening to this live stream. Drop your comments below this video. Like, share, subscribe. Follow the Queen on the Newsbreak app. I'm also on that platform bringing you commentary to breaking news. What a travesty. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution, not the problem. Mind the children. Thank you, sweetheart. You see something, say something. We don't need another Sebastian. We don't need another Summer Wells case. Harmony Montgomery. Save a child. Tell the truth. You've been listening to the Law Excel. Thank you.